this particular point. States and states in India and its capital. Fine. So what I will do. Okay, quickly. I will just take the cursor on a place. You have to just say its capital, right? So pay your attention and be careful towards the cursor. So very first place, Jammu and Kashmir.
Srinagar.
Okay. Himachal Pradesh,
Shimla,
Uttaranchal,
Dehradun,
Punjab,
Chandigarh.
Haryana.
Chandigarh.
Everyone must say, right? Jari tumcha adi koni, if someone is saying it, right? Still you have to say it.
yes sir.
This one,
Jaipur,
Uttar Pradesh,
Lucknow,
Bihar,
Patna.
Patna,
Jharkhand,
Ranchi.
Ranchi, Bhubaneswar,
Odisha,
Bhubaneswar.
Chhattisgarh,
Raipur,
Andhra Pradesh,
Hyderabad.
Tamil Nadu,
Chennai.
Chennai,
Kerala,
Thiruvananthapuram.
Karnataka,
Bengaluru.
Goa,
Panji.
Maharashtra,
Mumbai.
Mumbai,
Gujarat,
Gandhinagar.
Gandhinagar,
and Madhya Pradesh.
Bhopal.
West Bengal,
Kolkata.
Kolkata,
Sikkim,
Gangtok.
Assam, Arunachal Pradesh,
Itanagar.
Nagaland,
Kohima.
Manipur,
Imphal.
Mizoram, and Tripura. Right. So this is what you can consider the and
Sir,
here.
where is Telangana?
Sorry.
Telangana is absent.
Oh, sorry. In this. Yeah, in this particular graph. Yeah. So here this part, right? This much part is of Telangana. Whose capital is
Hyderabad.
okay. Another part that is about union territories. So how many union territories are there altogether?
8.
8. Okay, let's see. 8 or 9. So Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Right. So whose capital is?
Port Blair.
Port Blair, right. Then next one is
Sorry, I did not, sir. It is 9. It is 9 all. Because
okay. Right.
according to the 375A Act, Jammu Kashmir also became a union territory.
Exactly right. Right. So Chandigarh. Next one is Dadar and Nagar Haveli.
Silvassa.
Daman and Diu.
Daman,
Daman. Delhi.
New Delhi,
New Delhi,
Right. New Delhi. Lakshadweep.
Kavaratti,
Pondicherry.
Pondicherry,
Pondicherry. Jammu and Kashmir.
Srinagar,
Srinagar and
Jammu,
Jammu. And last one is Leh. Leh. Right. So these are the 9 different union territories you do have. Right. So altogether now you know the each of the state, its capital along with the union territories, and further again its capital.
yes, sir.
So be prepared for this. Sometimes the questions have been asked on these, right? So it depends on if any of the question comes on this, you'll be enough lucky if you could write the answer correctly, right? So you can, particularly about uh, the states which are at the eastern side, right? So that 7 states at eastern side, right, would be the point of concern. You should always pay the attention. So this particular part, right? So Sikkim,
Sir,
Arunachal
they are
Pradesh,
also known as
Assam.
seven sisters, right?
Sorry,
They are
Seven,
also known as seven sisters, right?
yes. So these 7-8 states you must be always remember. Fine. Okay. Okay, coming back to the aircrafts, particularly fighter aircrafts, which we have seen, right? You can just go through this one. So I hope you must have gone through these 5 different columns. So nothing is there. The name of the fighter aircraft, its origin, its type, its variant, and most importantly, so first 4 you already know, right? Even in detail, as much as the details are required, that many we have considered. But the last uh, column, right, which will tell you about currently how many such aircrafts are there in the service, right? So that is the important point. So the aircrafts in service, right, that is what the column called quantity. So till date 23 Rafales have been delivered. There are 272 Sukhois in the service for Indian Air Force and uh, Indian Navy, right? MiG-29, there are 69 MiG-29s, 20 HL Tejas are servicing Indian Air Force. Its Navy version is being tested. Mirage 2000, 49 Mirage 2000 are there, and Jaguar. So 120 Jaguar, right? And the last one is MiG-21, right? Which are 108 uh, in the service. So altogether, these many aircrafts you can have. See, these are the fighter aircrafts which are servicing for the Indian Armed Forces, right? So how many total aircrafts you can consider, right? Or you do have, right? So that is again uh, the subject of strengthening of your air force, right, or armed forces, right? And this is what one of the points you can consider. Based on that, the ranking in the world, right, is being done, right? And so with the help of these, we are placed at number 4, right, in the world as far as Indian Air Force is concerned. So these are the fighter aircrafts. There are already we have considered there are different categories of the aircrafts, right? So now I will take you to anyone anyone who wants to ask anything about this one. See, at this point, you should always take down some of the points on your notebook, right? At least uh, at such times, right? So though you get or you will be getting these slides, but what happens, the matter in the slides will remain only in the slides, right? So it will never get uh, transferred to you, right? And our motive is that you should have it with you, right? Forget about the numbers, right? Eventually you will be understanding, eventually you will be remembering the numbers, right? It's a practice game, nothing else, right? त्यामुळे त्याबद्दल you should not worry about it, because intentionally वैसे number जानने से कुछ नहीं होगा, right? Because if you know the specialities, then ultimately in between knowing the specialities, you will ultimately remember the numbers, right? So sometimes, see, at least what you should know, you should 100% you should know the name, right? You should know the origin and one of the features, right? That is what you can consider the what you can consider it, speed and range, right? So these are the 4 points, in my opinion, you should always remember, because while talking, these are really important, right? So in order to become your information effective, if you could provide these, at least these 4 details, right, then you will be always uh, impressing, right? And this is not only for the purpose of impressing someone, right? In fact, it is the fact, right? So for the matter of time, you should always take down such kinds of technical details, right? So if you involve your brain, your eyes, your ear, along with your hand, right, then obviously it will be remember of forever or for a long time. Okay, so let's go to the next. Okay. Can someone read this one?
Yushin 278.
Okay. Right. So it depends on someone will uh, say it as Iushin, right? But you can see, you can pronounce it as Iushin 278, right? Another aircraft, but obviously it is not of now uh, the fighter category, right? So any of the aircrafts coming now, right? Or in short, the fighter aircrafts category is over. Fine. Now, what is this Yushin? So Yushin 278 is a made up of Russia. It is a 4-engine aerial refueling tanker, right? We can consider 4-engine aerial refueling tanker. So basically, it is a tanker in order to aerial refueling of the fighter aircrafts, right? So, which is developed by Russia, right, whose name is Yushin 278. It has made its first flight in 1983. Right. It has a fuel transfer rate of 900 to 2200 liters per minute. You can just think about this one, right? So 900 to 2200 liters per minute. It can transfer the fuel. So within how much short time refueling of any of the aircraft will be done, right? So it has a this much transfer rate, right? Excuse me. It has maximum speed of 850 kilometers per hour, right? And whose range is about 7,300 kilometers. So till now, whatever all other fighter aircrafts we have considered, no aircraft is having this much range, right? So the range again matters. 7,300 kilometers, right? So this is the point you can pay the attention. Some related aircrafts, Yushin 276, right? The earlier version of 78. It was developed and designed in the Yushin Aviation Complex of Russia. As far as Indian Air Force is concerned, IAF refers it as MARS. It stands for Mid-Year Refueling System. Right? So Indian Air Force MARS is Yushin 278, right? So how does it look? So simply you can have this one, right? See how big this particular, let's say, aircraft is, right? So ultimately it is nothing but the tanker, right? So it is a tanker. So huge aircraft, which is always used for the purpose of refueling. Got it? Now,
Yes, sir.
actually, its version is extended as MKI, right? So Yushin 278 MKI, which is in the service with the Indian Air Force, right? This particular version is. There are, okay, yeah, this is what in which we are interested. Right? So Yushin 278, right? Okay. Some question is that what is the weight of Yushin 2? Okay. So it is refueling these fighter jets. Can you identify these fighter jets? In fact, it is difficult, but still by this cockpit you may be coming. So it is nothing but the Mirage 2000, right? So Mission 278 was refueling two Mirage at a time, right? So two Mirage 2000 fighter planes which are being refueling. Someone had asked about weight. So you can see here, there will be the weight about it, right? So as far as crew is concerned, so there are 6 people, right? Or its crew is consisting of 6 personnel, right? You can have in this particular case. Another point, that is fuel transfer rate, right? To which you should pay the attention. And then the performance, so maximum speed 850 kilometers per hour, maximum range, right? You can consider. So these are some of the characteristics which will be which we should be paying some attention. In fact, this one, and these 2 points, right? And this is true for all kinds of aircrafts. If you could know these 4 points for almost every aircraft, then you will be knowing much more. The details are provided, so you can go through these details at your own, try to understand these particular points. If you could not, then you may okay, some question is there, but now I am not able to see the chat. I don't know. Okay, at the last time I see it. Now, another, okay, one more point. Yes, Boeing C-17, right? Boeing C-17. That is, in fact, it is the integration of the name of 2 aircrafts, right? That is Globemaster 2 and Globemaster, simply only Globemaster and Globemaster 2, and therefore it has become Globemaster 3, right? So Boeing C-17, Globemaster 3. So by see its name as Boeing, you may understand what category of this particular aircraft is, right? So it is of a transport kind of aircraft, right? So it is a large military transport aircraft developed by the United States Air Force, right? By the McDonnell Douglas, right? So McDonnell Douglas Aviation is the developing agency which is in United States of America, right? For the purpose of the military transport in the United States of America, right? It made its first flight September 91. It commonly performs these 2 missions, right, which are called tactical missions and strategic missions, or say tactical and strategic airlift missions, right, in short. So purpose of developing this particular aircraft. And additional role include medical evacuation and let's say airdrop duties, right? So this is again the purpose of using this particular say aircraft, right? So medical evacuation and the airdrop duties, right? It has maximum speed of 8 to 9 kilometers per hour, and its range is 10,390 kilometers, right? So because it has to always carry some military transport, right? So that can be paratroopers, it can be having equipments, right? It can be having ammunition, likewise, right? So range and the speed. Related aircraft is McDonnell Douglas YC-15, right? So no doubt there are different versions as well, right? So now it provides strategic airlift, and it has the ability to deploy special forces, right? Such as during the national emergencies. Fine. So the purpose of this particular aircraft, they are operated in diverse terrain. What is meant by diverse terrain? So you can consider from Himalaya air bases in the northern part of the country, right, at 1300 feet height, to Indian Ocean bases in the southern part of country, right? For example, at Chennai or at Panampuram or at Trichari, right? So you can consider different terrains, right? So operated in diverse terrain. So conditions are different. Was to transport an infantry battalion's equipment, right, to Port Blair, right, in this particular year. Right. So that is the first used by the Indian Air Force. So total Indian Air Force is having 11 Boeing C-17 Globemaster 3. Right. There are 11 currently 11 such aircrafts in the service. Right. So again, the point you can pay attention. This is its view you can have, right? Again, you can see a huge aircraft, right? So this is what the Boeing C-17 Globemaster 3, right? So India's first C-17. Its characteristics. So its crew is of 3. So you can consider 3 personnel or 3 people are there you will be having. So these are some of the let's say other details, right, which we can consider about the transport, right? Then another point is the maximum speed, right? So here you can consider its range, right? You can consider, fine, and some of the other points you may consider as well, right, including avionics. So this is what Boeing C-17 Globemaster 3 used for the purpose of the transport, right? The transport of paratroopers, right? Transport of equipment, right? So likewise, you can consider. Another aircraft in this category, right, which is called C-130, right? C-130 Super Hercules. Right? In fact, its name is more than this, but it is in general known as C-130J Super Hercules. So its actual name is Lockheed Martin C-130J Super Hercules. So again, it is a 4-engine turboprop military transport aircraft. So the Hercules family has the longest continuous production for any military aircraft in the history. Okay. So as far as Hercules is concerned, it has a maximum speed of 671 kilometers per hour, and its range is 3334 kilometer, right? There are some other related aircrafts which are 130 Hercules and Lockheed L-100 Hercules, right? So these are the points you can consider. Yes, currently Indian Air Force has total 11 C-130J, right, in the service, In fact, Indian Air Force have ordered 12 C-130J, right? Someone has kept his mic open. Please, will you make it unmute? I don't know. Who is that? Okay. So I was talking about total number of C-130 ordered by Indian Air Force were 12, but currently there are 11 C-130J who are giving their service to the Indian Air Force. And then what must have been happened with the 12th one? So that is crashed in 2014. So nearby Gwalior, right, in Madhya Pradesh, you can consider this particular crash or how this accident had been happening. So they were trying to fly